Hello friends and fellow Simmerstorians, welcome back to my Victorian Sims 2 challenge. I hope you liked that little intro. I had such a fun time creating it. I did think it might be nice to kind of start off here with a bird's eye view of the town, since I know it's been a little while since you guys have seen it from this direction. So as you can see, I've added in some things to the neighborhood. We have a little forest across the way. I've kind of designated our farming area with that field there, and we've got some sailboats and waves and a little rainbow in the water. But you can see that Lawson's home is to the right, further away from everyone else. That is Mulberry Street, so we've kind of reserved that little section for our upper middle and upper class families. Today, we will be spending some time with the King family. As you can see, they kind of thought it might be a nice idea to have maybe another kid. Although, let's be honest, Philippa here is still so very much a child. I mean, Philippa brings me so much joy. I feel like a lot of my teens kind of start acting a little bit more like adults at that age, but Philippa never quite loses her childish spirit, and I love that about her. So the King family is doing really well. I think the last time we saw them, we married off Georgina to the Holloways, and things are a little bit quieter without Georgina here. On the other hand, Cornelius is a child. We will see him age up into a teenager today. And we've got some exciting things on the docket for Philippa here. Philippa's going to spend quite a bit of time skilling this episode because she really wants to get a job at the new Mulberry estate for Mr. Lawson. So news has broken to the town that there is a wealthy bachelor here, and not only that, but he is appointed as mayor. He's kind of the only person in town who actually has any sort of political experience, and he's a little bit like, I don't know, new and fancy, coming from big London and everything, whereas here things are still quite agricultural. We don't necessarily have much of a political system yet. So that's kind of going to be an interesting transition. You know, to come and support her in her endeavors, Georgina comes over to greet her, say hello, and her good friend Emma Breyer-Price comes over too. So we've got a lot of the neighborhood ladies in town, and Emma and Philippa have been pretty good friends for the past few sim years, which has been really nice. I love that that's happening. And I think Georgina mostly wanted to come over and play the piano. I don't know why, since they have a really nice piano at the Holloway household. But Emma's really excited. I don't think Emma's interested in applying for the job. I mean, she's probably going to try and help out with her parents' butcher shop, especially now that her father has passed on and Alma has passed on. So she's probably actually going to take Alma's job. But you know, it's so fun to see Philippa start to work on these skills around the house, because it means that she is doing a lot of work around the house. She's doing a lot of cleaning and cooking. As you can see, I mean, she cooked porridge. It's nothing fancy, you know, but it's still nice to watch the progression. And I feel like if she gets this job, the family is really going to miss her. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Philippa has just been an enjoyable sim for me. I really loved having her around, although I feel like I said the same stuff about Georgina. So it is what it is. I think the Kings just have great kids. I mean, it's really nice to hop over here and have things feel like calm and collected and not in uproar and chaos, because the other two families, the Jungs and the Prices, have had quite a lot of tragedies recently, and I'm just gonna put it out there now and say that we don't have any tragedies this episode. We honestly needed a reprieve. So she's probably not gonna help out at the grocer's once she moves away. So she has her big interview tomorrow. Her parents helped her set up a meeting at Mulberry House, and so we gave her a little bit more of a grown-up haircut, which, I mean, broke my heart a little bit because I loved the childish spirit of her other hair, but we needed something a little bit more adult. So the day has come. She's meeting Renaud Lawson here, as is the entire family, and you know, he immediately kind of goes up to Philippa. I mean, he knows that she's the one interested in the position. But he's also like actually quite amicable. I mean, to be honest, Mr. Lawson here is a little bit fiery. Like, I have caught him fighting with so many people in the neighborhood, it's kind of insane. And his best friend in the neighborhood already is Mrs. Westerfield, who hates everyone, if that tells you anything about his character. However, the two actually, like, have quite an engaging and really energetic rapport with each other. I mean, they're just kind of autonomously chatting with each other for most of the early morning and afternoon. Over the process, I mean, I think he's not exactly sure that she's a right fit for a servant. Oh yeah, Mrs. Westerfield is still here. She's here all the time. They don't actually have a piano at the parsonage, so I guess it probably makes sense. He was probably just like, sure, come on over, play the piano whenever you want. I don't care. Like, it's still really quiet here. It is what it is. I think Philippa's family is a little bit shocked at how nice this place is. I mean, gold everywhere, beautiful ornate details, wallpaper. The glass windows are remarkable. We have a little tea cart, though he invites Philippa over for tea to continue discussing things, which is, I don't know, I love it. I love this little tea cart. I don't think I've actually gotten to use it in this challenge yet. So he starts telling her a little bit about his hobbies and how he spends his time here. And something he's primarily passionate about is his tea garden. He does break the news to her that he doesn't feel like she would be a great fit as a maid or a servant for him. However, Mr. Lawson does inform her that he is in a search for a new bride. He wants to marry in with a pretty established family in town so that there's a little bit less of an uproar at a new person from out of town coming in to be mayor. And he thinks aligning himself with the King family would be a great way to do it. So politically, he's interested in making a connection with the Kings, but romantically, he also kind of feels like Philippa's a bit of a spitfire. She's a bit ambitious. She's exciting to talk to. She's lively and has fun in all of her conversations. So he asks her if he thinks she might be interested in a marriage or a betrothal with him. She's obviously shocked. I mean, she doesn't quite know how to answer. So they go back home. She is a little bit like taken aback because Philippa's pretty young still. She hasn't even reached the 7th day of her teenagehood yet. So it's a little bit earlier than I would normally marry her off. But, you know, at this point, she's told her parents what Lawson said. Lawson has sent by post a formal offer. Her parents, I mean, you can see Catherine. Catherine is so excited about the whole thing. So honestly, without even really consulting Philippa, they pretty much agree. They send back by post an agreement for the betrothal. So it's happening, and it happened really, really fast. But like we said, Lawson is interested in establishing himself quickly. So we've got one last church ceremony with her family. The entire St. Philip's Parish is a little bit disappointed that Mr. Lawson doesn't actually attend church with them this week. I mean, it's the only parish in town. It's quite small, obviously, but there was still kind of that expectation that he would be here, and so the Kings are a little bit surprised because church is an important part of their life. However, the man is pretty wealthy, and this is not enough to actually change their mind about their daughter's betrothal. So Philippa comes over and she greets Georgina, and in the most Philippa thing, she gives her older sister, who is now married, a noogie. Oh, Philippa, never change. And I just wanted to pop over to this back corner real quick and show you Marcus Price and Delphine Holloway. They are intended to be married one day. They haven't actually started courting yet, but so it goes. So it's wedding day. I know all of this happened so quickly. But I'm so excited. I can't wait to see how this works out for Philippa. The whole family is thrilled. This morning when they wake up, there's a beautiful blanket of snow everywhere. But by the afternoon, when they head over to Mulberry Street for the wedding, all of the snow is melted and it's spring. The first day of spring, it all just feels so happy and exciting, and the renewal feels fitting. So Philippa gets in a little bit extra practice around the house cleaning because she knows until they sort out their domestic service situation, she'll be in charge of that. But look at her confidence. I mean, she got the Bachelor to be. We're at the wedding. This is not my shining hour as a simmer because I forgot to check Renaud Lawson's formal wear. Hence, whatever that outfit is. A little disappointed. It kind of ruins it for me a bit. But we do have this nice little intimate ceremony with just her family in the tea garden. And honestly, like, I know that a lot of these arranged marriages could be interpreted as loveless, but they get on really well. They have a lot of chemistry, and Philippa has no reservations about making fun of him and playing with him and just like livening up his life. So he's a great deal older than her, but honestly, Renaud is kind of, he's really feeling it. I mean, he's really enjoying her youthful spirit and her passion, and that's something that originally appealed to him. So I'm just really enjoying seeing them together. They have a lot of these beautiful little intimate moments in the tea garden, so we take some cute little pictures so we can have those to remember. But guys, look at them. They're actually like adorable. I mean, I was kind of envisioning something different for Philippa's first marriage, but I love them. As you can see, the gentlemen are really enjoying hanging out and listening to Alice Westerfield's piano playing. Meanwhile, Catherine made a Victoria sponge cake and is eating by herself because everyone else is a little preoccupied. But don't worry, they all eventually come to enjoy the celebration dessert with her. And honestly, everyone just seems really happy. I mean, as parents, Catherine and Howard honestly could not be more pleased. They got the best marriage possible for their daughter. Sure, it's someone they don't know as well, but he's going to take care of her financially, and Philippa will want for nothing. In fact, she's in the household with the most amount of wealth. They are upper middle class. So yeah, I'm thrilled for her. And you know, Renaud comes to bed with her. They're about to share their first night as husband and wife. And look, he just fell in love. Oh my god. This is like absolute love at first sight. I can't handle how lovely this is. So we're gonna let them enjoy their night privately. Meanwhile, back at the King household, we are working on some basic chores. Catherine is helping out a lot in both of her daughter's absences at the grocery store, and so she's doing a lot of restocking, while Howard is, you know, doing a lot of the selling. He's got his sales badge up to gold, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants. We're at rank 5. Things are going well. At this point, we're not going to continue doing any more of the grants, so things will probably slow down slightly with the social class progression. I just know that you guys have been a little antsy for us to move up in the world a bit, so I kind of broke that rule on my own, and I've grappled with it. But things are so quiet without Philippa. It's a little bit crazy, but as you can see, Catherine didn't wind up getting pregnant. She's a little bit close to becoming an elder, as is Howard, so I decided not to worry about it too much. I was gonna give them another baby, but since their first woohoo didn't result in anything, I'm pretty comfortable just leaving them where they are, especially now that Cornelius is aging up into a teenager. It just sort of feels right that they're done having kids, since both Philippa and Georgina will probably be having kids pretty soon. So here we have Cornelius. He is such a cutie. I can't wait to put him into actual Victorian clothes. So we're not going to change his stuff too much here. We're just going to change that to makeup and that to blonde because we don't want him wanting to get with old women, and I feel like he would be a family sim. Cornelius grew up in a really healthy household. Here he is. I can't wait to play with him as a teenager, but I thought it would be fun to spend the rest of our episode at the Holloway household catching up with Georgina. I know a lot of you guys mentioned that you would be really sad to see her go because you wanted to like keep up with her. So I think we'll just pop over to their household every once in a while for a couple minutes in between episodes, just so you guys can make sure you get enough Georgina in your life. Plus the Holloways are interesting. So as you can see, her husband Benjamin is a little bit angsty. I don't really know what he's super upset about. I mean, he didn't age up very well, I guess, but that's okay. Georgina is working on making it significantly better for him. So today was his birthday, but anyways, this is the Holloway household. I haven't actually shown you guys the inside yet. So they are also upper middle class. They are one of 2 upper middle families now, including the Lawsons. And I think they have such a cute little house. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a tour. So here we have our front parlor. We don't actually have like a back parlor. That's probably not something we would add until they reach the upper class, just for, you know, space. And we have this cute little living room. It's a bit of a more open floor plan and kind of like in a shape of an L. And then they actually do have a study, which not a lot of our households have. So that's pretty nice. And Benjamin Eastman, Georgina's husband, is working on becoming a scientist. So because he is in the upper middle class, we are allowing him to have like one of the normal rabbit hole careers. I have kind of parsed out which ones I will and won't use based on their historicity, but here we are. And so here's Benjamin's parents, and they are just like so cute. They have such a good relationship, and I think it's been a good model for Benjamin to have in his relationship as well. Because as you can see, he's just hanging out in his study, working on the typewriter, while Georgina sits in and reads alongside him. And I really love that for them. I think they have like a really nice coexistence happening. Benjamin's twin brother, Hector Vladimir Holloway, comes to visit. I don't know if you guys remember, but Hector and Benjamin are enemies. I think there was a little bit of bad blood since they are twins, and Benjamin is the one who got the airship. But Hector's coming around a little bit more. As you remember, his wife Alma recently died, and so he's still kind of recovering from that emotionally. As you can see, Benjamin just like left to go to work without even acknowledging his presence, so we've still got a ways to go. But we do see Hector leaning on his family a little bit more, and he did want to meet his new sister-in-law, even if Benjamin wasn't exactly prioritizing them getting to know each other. As you can see, Georgina is having morning sickness, which means we are going to have Generation 3. Can you believe it? And here are Benjamin's 2 sisters. We have Victoria on the piano and Delphine dancing behind her. They're absolutely adorable. They're not twins. Victoria is a few days older than her. And this girl right here is Jane Sully. They're also fairly new to the neighborhood, and she will eventually be courting Cornelius. So we'll probably see them start to get to know each other a little bit next episode, although they probably won't actually get married next episode. We're probably about 2 episodes away from that. As you can see, Georgina actually has her little pregnancy bump already, and before long, we have the birth of Generation 3. Actually, this is our second birth of Generation 3, and they've both been girls. So this is Charlotte Millie Holloway, and I will say that all of her mortality rolls went superb. She is a healthy and happy baby girl, and she's also the first child that we have born into the upper middle class. I hope you guys had fun. I think this is a really exciting episode. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe.